morning, sir.
Hello, unmuted. Sir?
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir.
Sir?
Oscar, sir.
Good morning, good morning.
Am I audible, sir?
Good morning. Audible, sir. Yes, audible. ஏன் சேர் தான் வேண்டாம். ஹலோ
சார் இப்போ உங்களோட அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார்.
குட் மார்னிங். குட் மார்னிங். வீடியோ இல்லையே. ஏன் சேர் தான் வேண்டாம்.
ஹலோ இப்போ உங்களோட அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார்.
வீடியோ இல்லையே.
Dear participants, mute your audio. Dear participants, mute your audio.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning, all the participants. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, all the participants. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, all the participants. சார் உங்களோடது அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். வெல்கம் அட்ரஸ் கொடுக்குறதுக்கு அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க.
வெளியில வந்து
உங்களோடது அன்மியூட் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். வெல்கம் அட்ரஸ் கொடுக்குறதுக்கு. சார் உங்க வீடியோ வரல. உங்க வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். ஹெச்ஓடி சார். சார் உங்களுடைய வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. சார் உங்க வீடியோ வரல. உங்க வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். ஹெச்ஓடி சார். சார் உங்களுடைய வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகே சார், இட்ஸ் ஓகே சார். சார் உங்க வீடியோ வரல. உங்க வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். ஹெச்ஓடி சார். சார் உங்களுடைய வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகே சார், இட்ஸ் ஓகே சார். சார் உங்க வீடியோ வரல. உங்க வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க சார். ஹெச்ஓடி சார். சார் உங்களுடைய வீடியோ ஆன் பண்ணிக்கோங்க. ஓகே சார், இட்ஸ் ஓகே சார். Hearty welcome to all the participants. Hearty welcome to all the faculty of SSP Puttur and other institutions and students from different institutions. Hearty welcome to all the participants. Hearty welcome to all the faculty of SSP Puttur and other institutions and students from different institutions. Hearty welcome to all the participants. participants, kindly mute your audio. Dear participants, we are getting background sound. Kindly mute your audio.
Dear participants, kindly mute your audio.
Sound வந்துட்டே இருக்கு என்னன்னு தெரியல இப்போ. இது திறந்து மியூட் பண்ணிட்டேன். அப்படியே வந்துட்டே இருக்கு சவுண்ட். Good morning, sir. Congrats, sir. Good morning. Good morning, sir. Congrats, sir. Good morning.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir. So, good morning. Can you hear me, sir? Sir, I think unga voice mute la irukku. Kekkalanga.
Yeah.
Unga video theriyudhu. Yes, sir.
Am I
Actually,
audible, sir?
there was no permission to unmute. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. No issues. I hope my audio and video is also clear.
Exactly, sir. So we are about to start the program, sir.
Good morning, can you hear me, sir?
Fine.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I think உங்க வாய்ஸ் மியூட்ல இருக்கு.
I'll wait for your start, sir. No issues.
வீடியோ தெரியுது. Yes, sir. Actually, there was no permission to unmute. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. No issues. Now, I hope my audio and video are clear.
So we are about to start the program there.
Good morning, can you hear me, sir? Fine.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'll wait for video தெரியுது. There was no permission to unmute. Yes, sir. Loud and clear. No issues. Now, I hope my audio and video are clear.
So we are about to start the program there.
Good morning, can you hear me, sir? Fine.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
சார் ஆரம்பிச்சிடலாமா? ஓகே நீங்க வெல்கம் அட்ரஸ் கொடுத்துறீங்களா? So very good morning to all the participants and our today's resource speaker, Mr. K. Thangaraj. So we are very glad, sir. We are about to start the webinar. So first I would like to call our beloved head of the department Basic Engineering, Mr. A. Bhaskaran, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to all the participants and our today's resource speaker.
Sir, good morning to all. I would express my sincere gratitude to a distinguished Director of Technical Education, for providing this opportunity for conducting this webinar, and also extend my deep gratitude to our Principal Madam, who is supporting and encouraging for conducting this program. And I have great pleasure. Once again, I welcome the today speaker, Mr. K. Thangaraj, CEO of Asirvad Wealth Solution Properties, Coimbatore, who is going to give a webinar topic, finance after post-COVID. Financial investment post-COVID. Yesterday, he has given very nice lecture on savings and investments. Sir. Yesterday, your program is very peaceful and wonderful. You are expressing in a lucid manner. It will be helpful to everyone. I hope today's program also useful and beneficial during the pandemic period, sir. Now, I would have great pleasure to welcome all head of department, professors, principals, and faculty of staff members, and all participants. Once again, to everyone, this program, sir. Now, I also welcome my colleague, Mr. A. R.A. sir, who is rendering selfless to welcome marvelous service during the summit, sir. Once again, I welcome one and all for this program, sir. Once again, welcome the office students, sir. Once again, I welcome one and all again all the participants. Thank you, sir. I welcome one and all for the once again, I welcome one and all again all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now this is the time to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. K. Thangaraj. Dear participants, kindly mute your audio. We are getting the echo.
I welcome one and all again all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So now this is
is the time to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. K. Tangaraj. Dear participants, kindly mute your audio. We are getting the echo. Thank you, sir.
This is the time to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. K. Tangaraj.
Dear participants, kindly mute your audio. We are getting the echo. This is the time to introduce our guest speaker. This is the time to introduce our guest speaker.
Sorry, is it okay, sir?
Yes, sir, it's okay now, very clear.
Okay, sir. This is the time to introduce our guest speaker, Mr. K. Tangaraj. He is the speaker of today's webinar. He is a great personality with 24 years of experience, and he is currently the CEO of Ashirwad Wealth and Property Solutions, and he is a partner of Ashirwad Financial Services. He is the founder of YouTube channel Valam Valamariya.
Yes, sir, it's okay now, very clear.
And he is a chartered financial goal partner. He is a director of Banyan Seed and E Ventures Private Limited. He is a visiting faculty for B schools. He is a member of Board of Studies, and he is a resource person for various FDP and various training programs. We are very glad to have you, sir. So now I hand over the session to sir.
Yes, sir, it's okay now, very clear.
And he is a chartered financial goal partner. He is the director of Banyan Seed and E Ventures Private Limited.
Good morning to all of you. I hope the things are settled now and you'll be able to hear the audio. Before we start, I feel that someone's audio was unmuted. So what happens is, due to the internet delay, the voice of the speaker, whoever spoke earlier, had re-echoed over it and it gets spread. So my sincere suggestion is all of us can be on mute so that one person can speak right now, right? And then post which I'm going to give you some time for questions, and then you can ask your questions. And I thank the college for organizing this webinar, and I'm glad to see quite a lot of participants in this webinar. Yesterday, we had a webinar on savings versus investments, and it was more bilingual. It was in Tamil and English. But today, from what I understand from the names that I see on the chat boxes, there are quite a lot of people from other states seem to be logged in. So I will prefer to continue in English itself. But in case someone wants to have any query to be addressed or wants anything to be explained in Tamil, I'm glad to do it after the webinar as well. and probably any personal questions on financial planning also, I'll be able to take it offline if you wish.
Repeating, sir.
People from other states seem to be logged in, so I will prefer to continue in English itself. But in case someone wants to have any query to be addressed or wants anything to be explained in Tamil, I'm glad to do it after the webinar as well. And probably.
Sir, coordinator, sir, I suggest you can mute all once and then unmute myself alone so that the echo will be stopped. Thank you. Okay, I hope things are better now. Right? Yes, this is a bright day for us this morning. In spite of all the negativities around us with COVID, so many everyday news that we see of very desperate situation across the country. It's not just one state. Every country is suffering with the pandemic around, right? And there is a huge risk of infections, life being lost, etc. And I wish that all of us are safe, and may God bless all of you with good health and long life, right? So all said and done, our focus is more on the financial planning during and post-COVID. COVID is not over yet. We hope that it comes to an end very soon, and the vaccine would be able to be released quite earlier. Even we got current news, so which will be seeing that mid-2021 vaccine is expected by one of the WHO authorities. While that happens on its own, medical, we do not have a control on the medical, but we do have a control on our finances, right? So what is financial planning? Why is it important? So that we at first understand, right? So for the sake of the audience, I'd like to start with the presentation. You can see on the video. Even if you're not able to see the video, no issues, just hear the audio. And let's see that. Give me a couple of seconds. I'll just share the screen on the PowerPoint presentation mode, and then I'll get back to the speaking mode. Just hold on, please. Just hold on, please. I'm just getting it on the screen.
Sir, we are not getting the screen sharing, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's not getting connected. Just I'm just getting it done, sir. Just a few seconds. It will be on the screen. Please hold on for it. Yeah, now it is on. Okay, I'm sorry. There seems to be a slight problem with the technology issues. Just hold on just for a second. I'll get it right once again. If not, we will go ahead with the lecture itself. But just hold on.
Dear participants, kindly mute your audio.
Sir, am I made a co-host, sir? Because I'm selecting the screen sharing. It is not allowing. Can you just check whether I'm made as a co-host, sir, please?
Sure, sir. I'll check it.
Am I made a co-host, sir? Selecting the screen sharing. Can you just check whether I'm made as a co-host, sir?
Yeah, you are the co-host only, sir.
Sure, sir.
Okay, okay. All participants, I apologize. Right, I regret for the inconvenience caused due to some technology issues. Yesterday we had the same session. Screen sharing was happening. Today it's not happening. Anyway, for the sake of time, let me continue. So let's without the presentation itself. Right, what does financial planning means? Right, all of us know what planning is. Right, how to plan or allocate the resources. Right, financial planning deals with how to allocate the resources, the financial resources that we have towards our financial goals. Right, all of us should have goals. All of us do have goals, but only a few people do it as a process. Right, we all work or do business, earn income, and then try to build our lives around it. I suggest please put your mics on mute. There is some participants mics are not on mute, so it is echoing and disturbing the others as well. We understand the difficulties in a webinar. Please cooperate. Right, my kind request, please put your audios on mute. Now it's better, I believe. Thank you. Right, so I was talking about planning and financial planning. Like we get money by salary or business every month, and then we build our lives around it. Now, how to allocate these resources into various different goals that we have? There are different goals for a human being, right? And when a person is a single status, like a bachelor or a spinster, he or she will be bothered about a good lifestyle around them. Then they get married, and eventually the next financial commitments do come. They have to take care of their family, they have to provide for the family. Then when kids come, they have to provide for the kids, then school education of the kids, then higher education of the kids. Then you have to be having enough money to take care of their marriage, right? And life goes on, and then our income earning comes to a halt at one point of time, which is called as retirement, post which, thanks to all the medical advancement, our life expectancy is increased. We have a longer life to live even after retirement, right? Whichever job you're doing, it doesn't matter, right? So post retirement, we have to take care of ourselves. During our good earning life, we can take care of ourselves to a decent level. Post retirement, will we be able to take care of ourselves? Yes, it's possible if you're having a good financial plan. So financial planning deals with understanding all these different goals and then classifying them as some are short-term goals, some are long-term goals, right? So probably there are other goals as well, right? Taking a family for a vacation after COVID, of course, right? And then say buying a car, having a dream house, right? Doing some investments, doing some social costs, a lot of financial implications would be involved. So all these things require money. So you have to be careful to handle how this money, what we are getting, and to allocate them properly. This is financial planning, right? This is mostly needed for middle income people. But in my experience, what I would say is almost 90 to 95% of the middle income people do not have financial planning. I'm a SEBI investor awareness speaker, and for various forums like Bombay Stock Exchange and for different mutual funds, I go to different places and give lectures, and now on our webinar, right? What I found on my analysis is most of them don't give much importance to it. They are more bothered of their own domain. Probably you might be a faculty looking after your teaching. Probably you might be doing some business or having any other source of income, but they're more focused on their domain. Hardly there are few people who are looking at what are the other opportunities, right? I've met some people, unfortunately, who do not know what is their own insurance cover, right? This I'm not saying as a standard statement. I've done many seminars where I've randomly asked how many of you have an insurance, right? I've seen around 50 to 60% only raising the hands. Even if they do the raise, and if they randomly ask, what is your insurance cover? 95% are unable to answer what is their insurance cover right then. They'll say, sir, I have a plan where I pay 11,380 rupees per every 6 years. Sir, I have another plan where I pay 3,200 rupees per quarter. They'll say the amount, but they will not know because they think it is not theirs. That's a problem. They took insurance for somebody else. That's a perception, right? Some agent called or some relative spoke for some reason for tax saving, something they asked. I just signed a paper. If I ask you a question, and I may be ruthless, please understand, but just to straight deliver the point I'm saying, please forgive, right? How much rooms are there in your house? Or how many vehicles do we have? Will you not laugh at me? He says, sir, how will I not know this? Now, please understand, your insurance, your finances are as important as that. If you do not know what is your sum assured, how much is coverage for your family at any point of time, just like how many number of rooms in your house or how many vehicles you have, that means you have a wrong perception about insurance and finance, right? So please understand, financial planning involves allocating resources. So you should be having a basic understanding of what is my income, what is my expense, what are my future goals, and what are the ways to achieve it. See, what are the ways? People like us, like financial advisors, will be able to help you. That's a different story. But how much money is coming, how much money is going out? Even that is a big question. Once first takeaway from this webinar, what I will say is financial planning starts with accounting, right? A simple process of maintaining accounts. You need not have a big tally software or any accounting book like that, but at least you should have a daily record, a written record saying that these are the expenses that I did today. These are the expenses I did yesterday. And please understand, if you have kids, please teach them from an early age. You might be giving some pocket money to them. Give them, no issues. You must give them, but get an account for it. Don't leave it as it is, right? That's the first starting habit, which I find many people do not take it seriously, right? It could be smaller amount, bigger amount, but please understand, a good financial planning starts with recording the accounts, right? Even in a rough notebook, whatever you have, right? Or in a diary. I have a habit of maintaining a diary of my daily work schedule. And in that I write a small notes of what is the expense that I did, right? It may not be tallied to the paisa, that's fine. But overall, we should know where the money comes, where the money goes. Now, this forms the basic principle of budgeting. Once you know what is the income you get and what are the expenses that you have on hand, you will have a better control. Peter Drucker, the famous management guru, says, what is not measured can never be managed, right? What is measured can only be managed. Golden words, right? So you also should be able to measure how much resources are coming in, how much resources are going out. That forms the base for management, right? Please understand, this is a very large subject where, as a visiting faculty to B schools, we take this financial management for 6 months in a semester. So in a 1 hour, it's very difficult to give all the aspects. I'm only giving the introductory part of it, the orientation part. So if at all somebody wants to have more information, we can get connected later. Okay, the first point is accounting. The second point, what I'd like to say is currently in COVID scenario, right? Everybody, or I would say everybody, most of them have a crunch in the finances, especially if they're in the private sector or in businesses. You find the lockdown has impacted very seriously, right? And you might say, so what is that I'm going to have because I'm a faculty, I'm getting paid regularly. What if a similar thing happens to you as well in future? So what to be done? A good financial planning says, well, all of us should have some emergency funds or contingency fund. How much should it be? Roughly, I would say, right? At least 3 to 6 months of your monthly income should be there, right? If you have, fine. If you do not have, don't get upset about it. It's always a good day to start. These lessons, what we learned during the COVID scenario, will help us to be better prepared for future. So have a target. You may not be able to raise it next month, but have a target. We are in August 2020, right? Say by June 2021 or by December 2021, I will try to get at least 50% of this emergency fund. And the next year, I'll try to build it on. So these are for emergency requirements one should have, right? And the current COVID scenario has brought in a lot of uncertainties. I'm sorry to say that I'm seeing a lot of people who have lost their job, a lot of people who face salary cuts, etc. Right? Be of good cheer. Good days will come back. Don't worry. Right? After post-COVID, things will improve. Life will not be the same, but it also throws a lot of opportunities. Right? So, what to be done now? First thing is cut down all the unnecessary expenditures. Now, what is unnecessary? That's a big, very relative question, right? But what I would like to say is, if you carefully think, like let's take any institution or any businesses, what do? When there is a crunch in the business, when there's a tight on the cash flows, they immediately look at what all the areas they can cut down the expenditures. It could be very simple, probably getting a newspaper. You can go online and get the news. And why should you have a newspaper? I'm just throwing an idea, right? Don't take it as just as simple as the companies work to that level, right? How many employees are there? Should we have it or should we reduce this? Right? Going out is now ruled out now, right? We also have some savings, right? The money spent on cinema, money spent on taking family out, everything is cut down nowadays. So that's a saving for us in the blessing in disguise to say. The petrol expenses have come down. So how are we going to utilize this? Right. So a careful planning helps us to face the emergency situations. Currently, it's a situation of cutting down all the unnecessary expenditure. Please understand, looks like the economic impact will extend till next 1 year. Right. The COVID impact might go off, but the economic impact looks like it will take at least a year for the economy to live back to normalcy, hopefully. Right. We wish that it happens earlier. But please understand. So during these scenarios, please do not borrow. Right? Even if you have the opportunity to borrow, try to cut down all the borrowings. And if you have borrowings, try to close it if possible. I know there could be difficult scenarios if I say this. Some people will say, sir, how can I do that? But you'll have to think out ways, because borrowing is the cost of borrowing is very cruel in a financial planning, especially if you're having credit cards. Right? I've seen quite a lot of people in my experience who have got tangled into credit card. Right? I don't say credit card is bad. Credit card is good if it is utilized properly. If it is utilized for convenience, for 50-55 days credit cycle is used properly, and the full amount is paid by the end bill date, no problem. You're good. If not, you're paying only the minimum due and carrying forward means, please understand, that is one of the costliest borrowing that one can have. I'm not sure how many of you are reading what is the interest that you're is charged on credit cards. It varies between 36 to 48%. Yes, I'm consciously correctly saying 36 to 48% per annum is the interest cost to work out. Right? Tamil sonna 3 vatti 4 vattinga credit card ku. Right? It's one of the costliest things. So if you have a credit card, first take a decision to close the credit card outstandings. That can blow a hole in your wealth. Okay, I'll make one more stronger statement, right? Even if it means that you have to sell an asset, no problem. உங்க சொத்தை வித்தாலும் சில பரவாயில்ல, ரைட்டுங்களா? அந்த கிரெடிட் கார்டு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் க்ளோஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Right? So one sincere advice on financial planning is, even if you have to sell an asset, you can buy an asset in later stage, no problem. But credit card can be very dangerous. It's like a financial suicide if it is not handled properly. I'm not saying in general. For more details, you can watch a video in our channel, Valam Valam Adyaval, where I explain the different concepts. But I'm just making the broader things here. For the sake of time, a little rushing too. Right? So cut down on your borrowings. And if you're planning to buy some assets in the form of house or any real estate property, my suggestion would be prices are expected to come down. When the economic implications after the bank moratorium is lifted, you will find a lot of houses put on sold. You will find a lot of vehicles put on sold, right? People who are unable to pay the EMI, etc. And then you can find a price correction. Yeah, it is not general. Maybe your town could be different, but in general, there is a price correction expected. So if you have a decision to buy assets, I would suggest that you can put it on hold and buy it at a discount price, which you will get it quite shortly. Right? That's all the basics with regard to the current situation. But ideally, when you look at financial planning, one, I spoke about the emergency fund that you have to create. And then the second point is you have to understand your goals and then draft your goals. Now you have given a lot of homeworks for your students as a faculty, right? Now you have to use this time to do your homework, right? Please take time to draw your goals. What are the goals? Right? For my child's education, my son's education, my daughter's education, how much will be required and how many years are there? Excuse me. You may not know the exact amount, but let's say you're planning to put them on engineering or doctor, or it could be any arts college or politics, whichever it is. What is the current cost? And how many years are there more? Right? So, and there is one more important concept called inflation, right? In economics, what is nothing but the reduction in purchasing power of a currency due to various economic factors over a period of time, right? So what happens is, yesterday I gave an example, I would like to repeat it. If you're taking 1,000 rupees and going to a supermarket to buy some products for your household, right? Your provisions, your rice, wheat, the dal, oil, etc. for your home, will you be able to buy the same quantity in 2023 and 25 with the 1,000 rupees? If that is the case, no problem. But we are not living in a scenario like that. We have an inflation, right? Which means to buy the same quantity, you might require 1,200, 1,300, 1,400, and some products even 1,700, 2,000, right? It depends, right? That is inflation. So what does inflation do? If money is not handled properly, if the surplus what you have is not handled properly, it will not give you the power to buy it in future the same quantity, which means To maintain the same lifestyle, what you have now, you will be requiring more in future. I'm sorry, I'm not able to get the slides. Otherwise, I could have given data about the amounts and how does it calculate, etc. But I'll just say, if it is a 5% inflation, a 30,000 rupees expenses currently, after 25 years, will be costing close to 85,000 to 90,000 rupees. Just to maintain the same lifestyle, my dear friends, not to have extended lifestyle, which means the money has to be whatever you have on hand. If not planned and invested properly, you may not get real returns. Generally, we have a feeling. Okay, yesterday I shared about bank deposits. I heard that some people appreciate it. I'll repeat it again. Today, the bank deposits rates are 1-year deposit around 5.7%. Let's take the 6%. So if you deposit 100 rupees in the bank, you'll get 106 rupees after a year. But the inflation in India, I'm talking about the general inflation, food inflation, etc., is around 5%. So 106 minus 5, it gives you 101, which means your 100 rupees has grown only by 1% in reality in bank deposit. Hope you get it, right? But you have two more dangerous inflations. One is called education inflation, right? The food, clothing, etc., they move in one single digit. But if you take the education inflation, a cost of a degree 15 years ago and 15 years now afterwards and 15 years after this, do you think it goes by 5%? No. So for your kids' education, you require more money. Money should be making money. Otherwise, we are trapped. Our income earnings will stop at a certain stage. Whether they give retirement or not, our physical body, our abilities will reduce over a period of time. We may not be able to get the same income earning power. So at an early stage of life, those who are here attending, it's better that you start. Those who are in the mid stage of it, you will have to get more aggressive. It's like a T20 match. Your required run rate is high, so you need to take larger risks. There's no other way. Otherwise, the game will be over, but we will not win. To win, we will have to take some risks. It's not like I'll play only 1 run, 2 run, I'll not take any risk, means you will not be able to reach the target, right? The person who started young now or attending this, they are blessed, they can take lesser risks. But the person who are, in case having a requirement higher, then you'll have to take appropriately slightly higher risks. Okay, fine. Now, there's another inflation which I'd like to talk about is medical. That is too much here. How much would it have cost for a heart surgery or a kidney or any major brain surgeries, etc.? How much it would have cost 10 years before and now? And how much do you think it will cost after 10 years? Currently, the bill will be in lakhs for sure. Single digit or double digit depends on which hospital you go. Earlier, it was not so. We had bills in 10,000, 20,000, 90,000, etc. for parents. But currently, there's no thousands. There's only lakhs. So what does it mean? Going forward, medical inflation, you will have double digit, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs for treatments. Right? God forbid, if you get into any such sort of disease, it can blow your entire lifetime earnings. I've seen people who have sold their assets. I've seen people who have discontinued the student, their children from good colleges or schools because they were not able to afford their medical treatment and all the money went to medical. Right? So a careful planning is essential. In financial planning, before we plan the investments, right, you should think about risk protection. That's the primary thing, right? Risk can happen to all of us. Please understand. Now, Corona has taught us what risk is, right? We see people who are healthy but suddenly infected and suddenly they're gone. And many people have recovered as well. But let's take the negative stories for understanding the risk element. Or we've seen people who have infected with Corona and then going to hospitals, pay a huge bill, right? If they want in a private, right? If government provided, that's a different story, right? So there are cases, please understand. So as a human being, we have some 2 or 3 risks primarily, I would say. Right? One is the risk of death. Please understand, let all of you live long. God bless you with a great long life, healthy life. I bless, right? At the same time, death is certain for all human beings. We only don't know the date. So when we are not there, okay, I'll take it like this. When I am not there, when I'm dead, what will my family do? My family's income earning potential is affected. So have I taken insurance policy for it? How to protect it? That's the easy way, insurance policies. There are different insurance policies. Yesterday also we talked about a few. I'll say a simple thing for the sake of time. I can't elaborate now, but probably we can get connected if you want any counseling after this, right? There is a policy called term insurance by any insurance company, which is the cheapest and the best I suggest to any one of you, right? All of you should be having term insurance. Now, how much term insurance should have? Now, generally, when I ask about people how much insurance you have, they'd say, sir, I don't know, sir. And then they'll take the file and then there'll be few lakhs or thousands because they would have taken some 10, 15 years ago, right? And unfortunately, in India, especially in the college faculty segment, I repeat, in the college faculty segment, I find insurance is looked at as a tax saving instrument. Please, you have to get out of that idea. Yes, it has got tax saving. I find people rushing in December or January, sir, some insurance, I need something for tax saving. I say that's a wrong thing to do. Tax planning should start in April itself. If not done, at least now, August, you have to start so that you'll be able to understand the investments properly and take the right decision. When I've reviewed some client portfolios on client files, when I ask them, why did you take this? They'll say, I don't know, sir. My colleague took it. I also took it. Or somebody suggested I had to submit to my college management for my tax. So I took a policy without knowing what it is. There are quite a lot of policies which are absolutely waste on the part of returns. They are not even beating inflation. They're not even close to inflation, right? So you'll have to understand the implications. It is your hard-earned money, my dear friends, right? Don't go by the decision of somebody else or because someone says, right? Let's say even for me, what I say, you have to correlate, understand what is right, wrong, and then take informed decisions. Don't blindly go with when someone says it, right? This is a fundamental mistake which I find especially among college faculties, right? Tax planning is not the end of the life. Please understand, right? How to create wealth is the primary focus. Tax planning is an incidental part. If you get tax benefit, fine. But if you look only at tax planning and plan your investments, that is one of the most dangerous things that one can do, because all tax planning has got a lot of pros and cons, and everything comes with a lock-in period, and you can get stuck up with that portfolios which don't perform at all. And you don't realize it, you can't get out of it as well. Once you enter it, you'll have to suffer some losses. So please understand, right? Tax planning, you have to start a little early, right? Okay, coming back to this. So life insurance, I told you have to take, yeah. And how much life insurance, it has got different calculations. Probably you can refer our YouTube channel, Valam Valamariyaval, for more information. We've got some videos posted, but ideally, at least 10 to 15 times of your annual income should be the coverage. I repeat, 10 to 15 times of your annual income. If I die today, if my family gets 1 lakh, 2 lakh, how long will this sustain? Yeah? Right? It might only take care of my funeral expenses and the probably any function thereafter, right? So how much should I pay? It should be at least 10 to 15. If they get at least 10 years, 15 years of my income, which if I'm not there, at least, see, that can't replace me, but at least that will give my cushion to my family to stand on their own legs. So you have to understand that. And there are quite a lot of plans. Today, there are some plans, I will not name the plan right here, but I'm for information, some private companies have been extremely good plans I've taken for my family as well, right? It's called increasing sum assured term insurance plans, right? For my family, let's say for my wife, I took about 50 lakhs policy, and then that increased by 10% every year. 50 lakhs, next year is 55 lakhs, next year 60 lakhs, 65 lakhs. 40 years I've taken a term. End of 40 years, it comes to 2.4 crores. I think that's enough for my family, at least for the time being, for if that person is not there, right? And the premium paid is only very small. It's small amount every year, right? So instead of that, if you're taking an endowment or a money back policy, if you without understanding, then you're in trouble. You pay more, but you get very less, right? So please understand, life insurance is a must. Everyone should have it. As a chartered financial goal planner, I'm repeating it. 3 policies every human being should have. One is the life insurance policy. You take from any company, that doesn't matter, but you have to analyze and take it, right? But it's a must, right? Yesterday I talked about a simple Prime Minister insurance plan, right? It gives for all the Indian citizens. Maybe you can start with that, those who are young in age and those who feel that it's costly right now. 2 lakhs rupees is paid for anyone for the family when they pass away, by an expense of only 335 rupees per annum. 335 rupees per annum, you get 2 lakhs coverage life insurance. Anybody, any Indian citizen, 18 to 50 years can take it. There is another plan, accidental death. 2 lakhs is given to a family for just 12 rupees per annum. Yes, my dear friends, I am consciously saying it is 12 rupees. 12 rupiah Hindi mein, right? Veru 12 rupa varshathukku. With only 12 rupees, you can get 2 lakhs personal accident insurance policy, right? That's one of the best policies. Where can you get it? Just go to your bank and ask that you have to cover under Prime Minister Insurance Scheme. There'll be a form given, write your account number and nominee name, sign it. That's all over. And every year you have to maintain 365 rupees in your bank account. In the month, last week of May, it automatically gets debited when you no paperwork, nothing. See how simple it is. Like this, there are many plans. You have to scout for it, right? Benjamin Graham, the famous investor, said, investment in knowledge gives you the best returns. You should invest in knowledge to get information where, which is better, when it is. See, all assets have got a cycle. Every time, everything cannot perform well. Sometimes the stock market is good, sometimes gold is good, sometimes real estate is good. This cycle keeps continuing. Of course, long term, everything, most of them are having great returns. But shorter term, you find variations. You should have knowledge, or you should get connected with people who have knowledge, where you'll be able to understand what to be done at when. Okay, okay, fine. For the sake of time, I'll cut down. Life insurance is one. Another one is called personal accident policy. Accidents can happen any time, any unknowingly. Right? Accident doesn't mean motor accident. It could be a slip in the bathroom. It could be a fall while climbing the steps. Anything which is unexpected is accident only. A snake bite is an accident. Right? Companies provide insurance for that. Do you know that? Very, very cheap. 20 lakh insurance policy costs somewhere around 1,500, 2,000 rupees per year. That's all. 20 lakhs. And you can take crores depending on your income. The 1,500 rupees we spend for our DTH or cable TV per year, right? Hardly we realize it. We are able to pay for entertainment or any unwanted things also, but we don't put our minds to understand how we can protect our family well. Personal accident policy, you can take it anywhere. By the way, today Corona online, everything is made online, so you need not travel outside. Even sitting at your place, from anywhere you can be able to get these policies, right? Okay, that's a piece of thing which I'd like to leave. The third policy which I'd like to ensure protection, which I'd like to talk about, is called medical insurance. That's very, very primary. And during this COVID, it has come out, it has shown the implications very hard, right? If you're going to take a treatment, if somebody is going to treatment, a private hospital costs a fortune, right? The bill is anywhere between 4 to 5 lakhs is the normal in a normal hospital, they say, right? We've seen bills on the social media as well. How to protect it? And in case a medical, as we grow older, we get into medical complications. You might say, sir, I have a group insurance. My company provides, the government provides. Please understand, there's a difference between what the government insurance or the group insurance and your personal insurance. As an insurance advisor or a personal finance advisor, my suggestion is have your company given or your institution, college given insurance, that is as an addition, as a buffer. But all of you must have your own personal medical insurance. You can take it as a family floater for all of you or individual depending on your budget. And you can choose the plans depending on the features or the money that you can. But do you know one thing? Medical insurance is an effective form of tax saving. Many government paid employees are not aware about it. Section 80D of Income Tax Act enables you to claim up to 25,000 rupees what you pay for medical insurance premium every year as tax rebate. And if you have a dependent parent, you can claim another 30,000 rupees, right? So this makes it very tax efficient. Some people go after all the section, they say, sir, I have housing loan, I have LIC, etc. I pay tuition fees, and I crossed that limit. Please understand, Section 80D is only for medical insurance, and your group insurance premiums cannot be claimed here. Only individual medical insurance, family medical insurance can only be claimed here. So your 80C is different. What you pay for LIC and your housing loan is different. This is 80D, a separate section only for medical insurance. Nothing else can be claimed here. So many people who are wasting your tax, like at certain stage you cannot avoid paying tax, you pay tax. Instead, my suggestion is, instead of paying tax emptily, take an insurance policy. Even if you use it, don't use it, doesn't matter. Anyway, you're going to pay tax. So take an insurance policy. If you have an unfortunate incident of medical hospitalization, this will be very handy. It can help you in a great way, right? So Section 80D benefit, please don't waste it, right? So I'll repeat: life insurance, medical insurance, and then you have your personal accident insurance. These three are must for any individual in the first part of financial planning. Okay, once there are more risk planning, for you can take insurance for your house, you can take insurance for your properties, etc. Right? There are also professional insurances. Many things are there, so we don't have time to deal with, but please understand it's a wide subject. So you should be aware about these things so you can benefit out of this. So by paying a small amount, you can take great coverage. In case you have known colleagues who are working, please ask them to take, let's say, these insurances. Or as a social measure, maybe for the, you're all educated, you teach, right? But there are many people who are not fortunate enough. See the Dobie around you, the person who supplies milk to you, the person who supplies newspaper to your home, right? Your servant maid. At least ask them to take the life, pay for the 335 rupees. What is wrong, right? Ask them to take in their bank account. So you can't pay two, we all cannot pay 2 lakhs to everyone, right? But there is a way where government pays it. I mean, the insurance company pays it. Why can't we utilize it? So at least the unfortunate segment, we can use this opportunity to educate them as well. There are quite a lot of things, right? Only thing is our awareness less. Now comes to the next part, the investments. Yes, people have to invest because, as I told you about inflation. Where do people invest? In multiple things. They invest in bank deposit, they invest in shit, they invest in land, real estate, house, commercial properties, agricultural properties, gold, silver, stock market, mutual funds, etc. Please understand, all are part of this investment arena. You have to choose according to, there are various factors which you consider as a financial planner. We take the risk profile of the client, we take about the age of the client, we take about the financial dependency, how many people are there, what is the nature of income, whether it's a salaried income or a business income, right? How much risk they can take, right? There are high risk clients, there are low risk clients, there are medium risk clients, dependingly the products vary, right? So, but please understand, you cannot ignore, or you should not ignore investments if you want to be wealthy in future, right? For this, you have to define your financial goals first and then plan for it. See, only when we know the destination, we can plan what is the way to reach. Say, if I have to travel from Coimbatore to Mumbai, right? I know my destination, that's Mumbai. Now, then I have to figure out when I should reach. If I have to reach today, there's no other option than to take an aeroplane itself. Forget the COVID thing, the normal days, right? Or can I travel by train? Or can I travel by road? Or can I travel by on my car? I can take a choice only when I know my destination and then when I should reach there. If I say that I have to reach next month, then I can do my comfortable planning, which is the best option available, right? Just like that, you first draw your goals, financial goals, your destination, how much you want to accomplish after so many years and for what reason. And then you will be able to figure out the different ways available and then choose the means accordingly, right? So one simple thing which I'd like to say is, for wealth creation, long-term investment in equity markets is a must, right? Yes, risk is involved, but if you see Warren Buffett, the famous legendary investor, he says, risk is there in not knowing what you're doing. That's the risk. Some people say, sir, I don't want to take risks, sir. You can never achieve anything in life if you do not take risk, right? It doesn't mean you take the entire money into risk, right? You have to have baskets. Certain portion should be taken, certain portion of the money should be in bank deposit, certain portion should be in gold, certain should be in stocks, certain should be in mutual funds, certain should be in insurance. You divide a different thing. That is called as a portfolio approach. A portfolio approach helps you in risk diversification. Just because you don't understand something, if you ignore it, you are not losing your wealth creation potential. Just because you don't understand, invest in something else means you are wasting your precious money that you're earning. It is not growing. Money should make money for you. Please understand. Again, Warren Buffett, what I'm reminding, never depend on single income. Make investments as your second income. If you want to have a great lifestyle and a good wealth creation, one has to have investments as the second income, right? Income should start, even if it is in Corona time, even if there's a lockdown, money should get flowing into us. There are so many ways to do it. Please understand. I don't have the time to elaborate everything, right? Okay. If you ask, so where do I start? So one thing is you have to start with insurance. Check out your life insurance, medical insurance, and your personal accident insurance. If you don't have, take it, right? It is not an expense. It is an investment to protect yourself, you and your family, right? In any unfortunate incidents. Next one is wealth creation. If you're a young beginner who wants to start off, the easiest thing is start with mutual funds, SIP. SIP stands for Systematic Investment Plan, right? Every month or a fixed amount at a fixed frequency, once you start investing, it builds up into big corpus. If you're having enough knowledge and time, you can invest directly into equity market, stock market. If you do not have, or if you don't want to take that route, the professional route is investing through mutual funds. And mutual funds means don't equate a stock market. There are many mutual fund is a pooling of resources and managed with professionals towards the investment objectives. Right? In India, there are 43 mutual funds who manage more than 25 lakh crores of assets. Right? So it's a wide area. And please understand there are many schemes. You can find out there are schemes which invest in stock market. There are schemes which does not invest in stock market at all. They invest in money market, government bonds, securities, debentures called as debt funds. There is a hybrid category of funds, which is a mixture of equity and debt, 65% equity, 30% debt, or 50 equity and 50% debt. Right? You can choose accordingly. There are gold funds. How many of you know that you can buy gold with 500 rupees and 1000 rupees? Shocking, right? That's the problem with ignorance, financial literacy, right? We think gold has gone up. At least to buy 1 gram of gold, I require 5,500 rupees. But every month I have clients who are investing 500,000 rupees into gold. How? There are gold mutual funds available. The minimum amount is only 500,000. Equity mutual funds, it doesn't require great amount. 500,000 rupees, you can start off. Or if you have great money, big money also, that can be invested. Crores of money, yes, can be invested. There are different methods, right? There are international funds. How many of you know that you can invest in Facebook share or Amazon or Google, Microsoft? It's possible, right? Just because we're ignorant, right? In Tamil, if the cat closed the eyes, they think the world is dark. No, it is not so, my dear friends. You may be good in your domain, you may be good in your subject, that's different. But please understand, whatever you do, ultimately it's your money. You should know how to manage your money. You should know to find out the ways. And I'm happy that this college has provided you a platform today to know all these things, and I appreciate the college management for this. But please understand, this is not the end, this is only the start. Now you will have to seek for it. There's a Bible verse which says, right, knock and it will be open, and seek and you'll find. You have to seek for knowledge. When you seek what are the resource ways that I can invest my money, how I can make my family secure, right? I've been in the financial investment industry for the last 26 years. I worked in the corporate, and this is my 10th year in my own business into wealth management, where I find the people called HNIs, high net worth individuals, people who have great money, one of the top businessmen in your city or any part of the country, they all use the service of people like us, financial planners. They do financial planning. Actually, they don't need it, but they're smart enough to do it. But who is effectively needing it? The middle income people. They only need to know how to build the wealth, because they need wealth for their family. They need wealth for their future. They need to secure the future of their kids. They need to have a peaceful life, irrespective of corona or any other difficulties, how to survive, right? Anyway, even if you're not started and you feel it's late, don't worry, right? You can start even from today and improve yourself. But if you're young enough, you're much blessed today, because you're hearing it right time. So whatever is your income, you may be earning small, big, doesn't matter. Start investing as a habit. Every month from your income, you dedicate a certain portion for investments. Make it as a rule. How can I make it? I've got so much commitments. No, cut down any other commitment, but make investment as one of the commitment. And especially retirement planning. Many people in the my experience of meeting so many people don't give attention to it, right? Even if you have pension or not, there are super pension plans available. I can suggest one plan which says that you invest in SIP every month a certain amount of minimum 1,000 rupees, right? 8 years, after 8 years, there is a plan which gives you one time of a return. Every 1,000 is getting returned. If you choose a 10-year plan, 1,500 is returned every month, right? If you choose 12-year plan, 2,000 rupees given. If you choose a 15-year plan, 3,000 rupees per month, like a pension. So if you make 10,000 rupees, you'll get 30,000 rupees per month, right? In your post-retirement. And there's no retirement. You can fix it after 15 years, right? And just give you an example. There are so many other plans. But please understand, only when you seek for it, you'll be able to find out. It is our money, hard-earned money. It should not go to the drain, right? So don't think this is all not my cup of tea. Let my auditor take care of it. Let somebody else take care of it. My friend is doing it. My colleague says it's good. I'll do. No, don't do it. You do your research or try to get research. Today, people like us are available, or if not, there are so many online resources available. You can Google yourself and find out the different ways and means of having a better financial plans, right? A complete financial plans gives you a big control on your life, right? For example, today, if I'm not there, I know that my family will be provided with this much amount of money, X amount of money. I know that it will be done, right? Or if I'm surviving for the next 40 years, these are the sources where money will come. I've invested here, I'll be able to take out money. Or I have some goals further, right? For my daughters, what should I do, right? I have to have my own financial plans. So this financial plan is very, very crucial. And I think that my time is close to it. So let me try to wind up. I'm sorry I couldn't show the presentation, but I hope that I've added value in the time. So I didn't want to waste more time on trying to figure out the technical issue and don't want to put you all on hold. So I'm sorry, apologies for the technical issues, but still, I hope it have added value to it. So please understand, financial planning is very, very important for every individual. It starts with risk protection. Once again, I repeat, life insurance, medical insurance, and personal accident insurance. And then you should have proper accounting habit and have a control on the expenditure, especially in the COVID scenario. Control on the expenditure must, right? Reduce all the unnecessary debts, especially if you have credit cards, close it at any cost. And then have a disciplined way of investments. And the investment is essential. Certain investments carry risk, but risk comes with reward also. So you should be able to take calculated risk. I'm not saying the entire money in one particular thing, put them into different baskets. So that becomes a portfolio. It gives you long-term protection, and wealth creation, wealth preservation are different. In the early stages, you can offer wealth creation. At the later stages, you can reduce your risk and then move to wealth protection instruments. And there are quite a lot of products and plans available. Please don't go with what anyone says. You do your research. And once you start analyzing and knowing about the products, you will have a great future. And you'll be able to take better informed decisions, right? And never ever deal in cash, as another few points, and never ever give your money to someone else to manage it, right? Let's assume that even if you're approaching me, I wouldn't take cash, right? I will say, I mean, not myself, but any good financial advisor, prudent advisor, what they do is they only facilitate, they only do the interactive role, right? Setting the application, right? Doing the online mode. So whereby all investments will be in your name only. You or your family members only. Never ever give money for someone and transfer money and say, sir, they cheated, I lost my money. That's a wrong thing. Everything, your PAN card, your Aadhaar card is essential to do all whatever I've said. These are essential. So with PAN and Aadhaar card, if you have, you can do your investments, your insurance, mutual fund, everything in your own name only. And everything to be done only by checks or by online, only from the bank accounts. Wherever somebody says you deal with cash, that means it is a suspicious activity. Today, the KYC norms, know your customer norms, are very strict with RBI or SEBI or any other regulatory agencies. So never ever deal with cash. That means you're inviting trouble. And don't fall to greed. If somebody promises you'll be getting superb returns, like they promise the sun and the moon to be delivered at your doorstep. It is not a Swiggy or Ola to deliver. It's not possible. It means it's a fraud scheme, right? They're going to cheat you. The intention is cheap, right? What is reasonably good, you can expect it, right? So by these are certain things which I've shared. I hope this is adding more value. Once again, thank you for the patient listening, and thanks for the college management as well. And as sir introduced, there's a channel Valam Valamariyaval in Tamil and YouTube. Those of you in Tamil, you can follow it as well. And those of you who want to have any queries, I'm available on WhatsApp and available on email as well. By the way, I hope this is a good value addition to all of you. Thank you, all of you, for your patient listening. And now I'd like to open the floor for questions, and over to the coordinator, sir, for any questions.
Thank you, sir. Participants, please put your questions in the chat box. Participants, dear participants, any questions? Yeah, Mrs. Kartika, I'm unmuting you. Kartika, you are unmuted now. Sir, you are the host, sir. Can you unmute?
Oh, sorry, sir. One second.
Yeah.
Oh my God. One second. I'll make you as host, sir. One second, because I wouldn't be able to handle. One second. There are many messages coming. Oh, just a second. I'll make you as host.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Hello, proceed, madam. Proceed.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, please tell about UTI in marketing, sir.
Can you come again? I didn't understand it. Sorry.
UTI investment, sir.
asking
UTI,
about
okay.
UTI.
The UTI stands for Unit Trust of India.
Yes,
The
sir.
Unit Trust of India is one of the oldest financial institution, started in 1963 or 64. The famous scheme was UTI US 64, right? And after which, that was the first mutual fund to start in India, government backed. And then in the 1980s, some public sector banks were allowed to start mutual funds. And post 1990 liberalization, private sector was allowed to start. And then UTI infamously, both of the schemes, UTI Master Gain and UTI Master Share was there. They failed and then created a problem for the investors, right? And after which
Okay.
UTI SUTI, a separate entity was formed, and a lot of history. Now UTI Mutual Fund is a separate mutual fund. The earlier UTI is different. Today UTI is different, right? Don't think it is a government company. Today it's, of course, it's government backed, but it's another mutual fund, which is one of the having good schemes. But that's not the only mutual fund available. There are many mutual funds. UTI is one of the mutual funds which has got some good schemes.
Okay, sir.
I
Thank
hope
you,
I've
sir.
answered the query.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome. And in case anybody wants to have personal, because somebody said that, sir, I can't discuss my personal amounts here. I don't want to discuss. Can I get in touch with you? I'll share my number. My number is 9940733310. I repeat, 9940733310. I am available on WhatsApp, right? Any general question that you want to ask, I'm ready to answer here. Because in the seminars, sometimes I get a query saying that, sir, my personal money matters, I don't want to discuss, right? Please go ahead. Others? Any queries?
Two participants. P. Karthika, I'm unmuting now. Karthika, madam, are you on the line?
Yes, sir. Sir,
P.
no
Karthika.
other queries, sir.
No other queries.
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, actually, mutual fund also having the risk, sir. So we are also having risk in the mutual
Ma'am,
fund
you see
also.
Yeah. See, the mutual fund advertisement says mutual fund investment subject to market risk. Please read the offer related documents before investing, right? Please understand, life itself is risk. Today, COVID, traveling out of home is risk, right? Even traveling on the road is risk. Even if there is no COVID, accidents could happen like that. Any investment has got risk. Wherever there is a risk involved, please understand returns will be higher. Now I'm saying you have to understand what is risk and then invest. Your money will not vanish in a day. Please understand. But in case of equity, you have fluctuations that is called as volatility that people perceive at risk. This is for the short term, there is risk. On the longer term, if you take the history of mutual funds, it has given over 10 years, it has never given negative returns if it is an index fund, right? So without understanding, if people ignore it, that is, they're missing the bus. That's what I would like to say. Yes, you understand the risk and then put some amount there and some amount in other assets, right? But if you're not investing at all, you miss your great returns opportunity. I hope I've answered. Thank you.
Sir, there is
Thank you,
another
sir.
question. Can we claim both the term insurance and
Yeah.
life insurance simultaneously? Can we claim
Sir, term insurance is
life
yeah, I understand. The term insurance is only a part of the life insurance. Life insurance is the whole thing. And then you have, under that, you have endowment insurances, you've got term insurance, etc. Term insurance is one of the cheapest for the client. Generally, agents don't sell that much because they get lesser commission on it, right? But for the client, that's the best one, right? For only covering the risk only. That's term insurance. So it's a part of the life insurance gamut only.
Any other queries?
Next, please. Yeah.
Participants, if you have
I
any
get
queries,
comments saying that informative session. I get some thanks message, informative message. Thank you. And somebody wants, what is it? You want my contact number again? Okay, my contact number is 99407 33310. PPT I would like to share, but there's a technical issue. If you can contact me by mail, I can definitely send the PPT as well if you want it. And if you want the YouTube link, but that's in Tamil, Valam Valamariyaval, VALAM. space VALIMARIYA space AAVAL. Valam Valamariyaval. Tamil Nalam Nalamariyaval எழுதுற மாதிரி Valam Valamariyaval. It's a financial literacy channel in Tamil. Okay, Mr. Abhay Veer Singh, thank you. You say you. Okay, there are quite a lot of chat messages coming. Unfortunately, I'm not able to read everything. So if there's any query, you can ask the coordinator, will be able to post it.
Okay, sure, sir. So now we are about to conclude the session.
Okay, sir.
Now this is the time for vote of thanks. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm honored and lucky to have the opportunity to give vote of thanks on this special webinar titled Financial Planning Post-COVID. At the outset, I thank Directorate of Technical Education, Chennai, for permitting us to conduct this type of virtual activities in this tough pandemic period. I thank the speaker of the day, Mr. K. Thangaraj, CEO, Mrs. Wealth and Property Solutions, Coimbatore, for delivering such a wonderful webinar in a very simple and lucid way. The content he delivered was extraordinary. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and delivering the webinar. Thank you, sir. In spite of your busy schedule. I must mention special thanks to Dr. A. Elizabeth, Professor of Commerce, Nirmala College for Women, Autonomous, for recommending your name as a guest speaker. Thank you, madam. I thank our principal, madam, for being the backbone for all our activities. She is always a source of encouragement and comfort, and that really motivates us. Thank you, madam. I would like to thank Mr. A. Bhaskaran, Head of the Department Basic Engineering, for being the source of inspiration. His guidance really takes us forward. Thank you, sir. I must not forget the support and cooperation rendered by the heads of all the 4 departments of our college in making this webinar a great success. I would like to thank all the faculty of this institution and other institutions for providing timely help. I must particularly thank Mr. Premnath, our placement officer, in taking the initiative in this type of webinars. I am privileged to thank our OS, Mr. Vaidyanathan, Assistant Mr. Ilanjeriyan, and all the office staff for supporting all our academic activities throughout the year. I thank all the non-teaching staff for their timely help. I must thank all the participants for your continuous support and cooperation. I would like to thank you again for making this event a grand success. Thank you all. So thank you, sir. Any queries, definitely I will send you a mail, sir. Thank you, sir. Dear participants, the link for the feedback will be provided in the chat box. Thank you, sir.